Hello and welcome to the inaugural Denim Dads podcast video. I'm Lono. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Denim Dads podcast. You can find me on Instagram at @_dad_chic. And you can find our podcast as the Denim Dads podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts and also on Instagram. Today we're going to do a comparison video between a Vostok and a Rolex. This Vostok is a Komandirskie diver, reference 2416/65037, and this Rolex is a Submariner date, reference 126610LN. One of my big problems with watch videos is they always talk about watches in the sense of ambiguous items like history, legacy, how fine and nice it is, how precise it is, all sorts of nebulous things. We're going to do this objectively and compare the two watches head to head on a series of objective metrics. When they score one, they'll be awarded a dinosaur. I apologize, these dinosaurs have no feathers. Blame Big Dinosaur for that. So unfortunately that part of our contest will not be scientifically accurate. So, first thing we're going to compare is the bezel. You'll note the bezel on the Submariner is unidirectional. The bezel on the Vostok is bidirectional. Thus, 2 being better than 1, the Vostok scores its first point, dinosaur. Next, we're going to compare fit and finish. Obviously, I can't zoom you guys in at the macro level because I don't have that kind of lens technology. But notice the Vostok has a huge gap in the bracelet. That is shameful. So for that, we will give a point to the Submariner. Next, we'll compare which watch has more red stars on it. It's pretty easy. 1 red star on the Vostok, no red stars on the Rolex. It's an extra point for the Vostok. Now we're going to compare waterproofing. Submariner, good to 300 meters. Lab tested, military tested. Everyone knows that. Vostoks, you don't know. Sometimes it's 300 meters, sometimes it's 5 meters. They've pressure tested up to 1,000 meters. It's kind of random. This one's been skin diving a few times, so I'm comfortable saying it's good to about 50 meters. But on that nature, I'm going to have to give this point to the Rolex. Now we're going to talk about the date window. You'll notice the Submariner has this ugly, stupid Cyclops that everybody that has it sane hates, because you don't need that unless you're blind, and if you're blind, you're not diving with a watch anyway. Also, it's ugly. It's just ugly. The Vostok has a normal human date window. Thus, Vostok gets another point. Now we're talking about whether these watches are involved in any collaborations. The Rolex has a Mercedes hand. Rolex feels like they can't stand on their own, that they need to ride on Mercedes coattails. The Vostok, not collabing with anybody. Extra point, Vostok. Then we're talking about the accuracy. Both watches are less accurate than your cell phone. They're both obsolete. Sorry, that's a tie. No points for either watch. Finally, we're talking about history. History is objective in some measures. Rolex, made by the Swiss for a bunch of different militaries. Famously, Navy SEALs have used them. I was in the Army for a long time. Navy SEALs suck. Vostok was made for the American military, or for the Soviet military. Soviet military also kind of substandard. But they won World War II. Swiss didn't win any wars. So I'm going to give this to the Vostok because they are the actual winners of World War II. Ignore what you learned at Hollywood. Thus, comparing this objectively, the Vostok has 5 points. The Rolex is 2. Using science, hard facts, and no subjective measures whatsoever, the Vostok is a better watch than the Rolex Submariner. So that's the one you should be flashing on IG. Alright, thanks for joining with us. We may have more videos on this channel at some point. Subscribe if you want to. Listen to the podcast. Or, post a bunch of hateful comments below. Whatever you want.